Good morning, my cosmic stars. I hope all is well with you today on this beautiful, beautiful day. I am in the car, and for now, I woke up and I said, I want to go to the lake today. So I decided that that's just what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to the lake and we're gonna talk and we're gonna paint. If you read the title, then you know what this topic is going to be about. I almost didn't make this video. You know, I've cried a lot recently. I've been in deep prayer and meditation. And honestly, I'm 30 years old and I do not have my life together, nor do I have it figured out at all. I am a mother of a 1-year-old. I live with a relative. I am currently unemployed, and you know, so that's just like my finances are credit score is like it's been a lot. So we're gonna get into it, and I hope by the end of this video that I motivate somebody and I find even more motivation, because I mean, I'm not as sad as I thought I would have been going through all of this, but it's still a lot for me. So yeah, so like I said, I'm on my way to my destination, which if you guys have been watching me, then you know that I tend to go to the lake a lot when I need to clear my head, and so that's where I'm gonna go. But I just want to give myself credit and give myself grace. I got up this morning, I got my daughter ready for daycare, I got myself up and ready, I fixed us breakfast, you know, I did the things I needed to do, because it's been hard to just sometimes get out of the bed. But you know, because I am a mom and I have an active child, she's not gonna let me just sit and wallow in my sorrows. You know, she's gonna be like, get up. And that's just what I need, you know. But I can't speak for when she's at daycare though, because that's a different story. I would literally go back to bed and sleep until it's time to pick her up from daycare. But today we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We got up, we got ourselves together, and I just felt like I just wanted to come on here and be honest, be as open and transparent as possible. And because I want to help someone. Like, for me, I was searching on YouTube and I was looking up videos like rebuilding at 30, or you know, something that would like help me, and I seen some decent things, but I didn't feel like they were as honest and as vulnerable and getting down to the nitty-gritty like I needed. So I said, fuck it, I'll make the video, you know. So here we are. So we're almost at our destination, and I just wanted to say before we get out and I get everything set up, I am no health professional or licensed professional when it comes to mental health or your well-being. If you feel like that you need therapy or you need someone to talk to, I definitely recommend it. I have been in therapy a great number of times. As a matter of fact, I'm currently looking for a new therapist now, and it actually helps. It really does. And the last therapist I had said something to me that, well, no, not the last I want to say the last actual good therapist was when I was working my first job I've ever had, which was like at 16. I was working at McDonald's, right? And there was this manager. I loved the manager. She was cool, but she kind of treated me like the ugly duckling. And because I was always quiet, I've always been a quiet individual. That does not mean shy. That means I didn't have anything to say. I just came in there, I did my job. I always did a good job because I would always get the highest raises, and they would tell me, look, don't tell anybody how much we're giving you. And I would know how much they gave other people, but they will always give me the higher raise, right? Because I would come in and I would do an excellent job. And that's at any job, to be real with you. And that's not to be cocky at all. Like, I'm multifaceted. So that's why, like, now it's just hard for me to, like, figure out where the hell do I want to go. I could literally do anything. Literally. But I don't want to do some of these things that are out here. Like, I don't know what I want to do, because I could literally do pretty much anything. It's not that I don't want to do nothing, I just don't know what I want to do, you know. But anyway, that manager, she had favorites, which, okay, whatever, you know. I'm a kid. This is my first job. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. She had gave all her favorites this beautiful cup. She gave everybody a cup, right? And it was just different colors. It was fancy, nice, whatever. And when it came to me, she gave me a clear cup, and it was cracked. And I'm not gonna lie, from a young age, I've had a good shape on me. I've had a big old booty my whole life, you know. I've had basically like the Coke bottle shape. That was me. I've gained weight since then, you know. I done had a baby and stuff, and I done been stressed the hell out. So I got to get it back. But my whole life I've had a beautiful shape. And you know, she would call me the Marilyn Monroe of the job. And at the time, I was, like I'm saying, I was 16. This was my first job. I just come to work and I do what I'm supposed to do, right? I didn't know what that meant. I really didn't. I did not know what that meant at all. And then as I got older, I started to realize that it was like one of those sly compliments, you know, that people give you because they might feel some type of way about the way you look, the way you talk, the way you do things, you know. Because I'm not gonna lie, you know, the boys was googly eyed because I looked good. I looked good, beautiful, you know. But I didn't know. I was one of those girls, like, I knew I had a decent shape, but I was like, oh, I still feel fat. Look, you know, like, I'm skinny, but I'm like, I feel fat. Or, oh my gosh, like, you know, criticizing myself. So I didn't really see how beautiful of a person, or a young lady I truly was. I didn't see it. But needless to say, I went to therapy. And I told my therapist how I basically got treated differently. Like, yeah, they would give me raises and stuff like that, but when it came to, like, everybody became a crew, or what's it called? A crew trainer or something. And they were so happy. Like, everybody at the job had become a crew trainer. And so I don't know how to look at this, but everybody on the job became a crew trainer, but except for me and my friend. They didn't make us crew trainers. And everybody was just like so happy and boosted and gloating about it or whatever. But even though they became a crew trainer, so they thought that they were, you know, up on the upper level, I had the highest raise. So it's like I don't know. It was just weird. So I was telling my therapist, I was like, I really don't want to be there. Like, I feel like I get treated bad, but at the same time, they're giving me raises, and I don't know how to feel, and they're using me in examples and stuff. This is how you should come to work. Look at Shauna. She has her clothes, you know, her whole outfit. Look at how she cleans the lot. Like, they would use me as an example but then treat me like shit. And I said, I just don't want to be there. And my therapist said to me, so why don't you leave? You guys, I know that's like simple, and I don't know. And when he said that, and when he said that, like something just like clicked inside of me, and I was like, you're right. Why do I stay? I deserve better. And I kid you not, the next day I went in, I did them so dirty. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was like on like Friday night or something like that. Friday or Saturday, this girl used to come in late, and she was supposed to relieve me from my shift, and she would come in all late. So what I did was I seen that it was gonna start picking up, and I said I gotta go, and I clocked out, and then I seen a whole bus full of people pull up, and they struggled, and I never came back after that. I never came back. And then, like maybe a year or so after that, I had pulled up, got me something to eat, and they was like, this one girl that remembered, she was like, Shauna, I'm mad at you. I said, why? She said, because you quit and didn't tell nobody. I said, so? I said, I'm glad to see that you're doing well. And I got my food and I left. And that was liberating for me. Like, could I have quit on better terms? Of course. But I didn't feel like I needed to. So, I say all that to say, you deserve better. You know? You deserve better. Is a part of knowing your worth. That was like the first time, and I guess the first time ever in my life where I realized that I deserved better. You know, of course, other things happened throughout my life and stuff, and I had to learn even deeper reasons of why I deserved better. But, sorry. You know. But, as a kid, that was my first lesson, that I deserve better, especially when it came to a job and how people on a job supposed to treat you, you know. So we are pulling up now, like I said, at the place where we need to go. So let me get us prepared so we can talk even further. So we have made it to our destination, and like I said, I'm going to paint today, and I got this painting from Amazon, and it's supposed to be, I don't know if you guys can really see, but it's supposed to be like the beach with the palm tree, and I think it has like a chair right there, and it has numbers. It comes with the colors and the little canvas stand and everything. So let's open this bad boy up. I got me some headphones. I brought me a journal and a pen. So we're just gonna chill. We're gonna chill right here for a little while until I feel like I'm ready to go. So, but yeah. So let's get into in more depth about what it's been like being in my 30s, and let's come up with a plan together. Okay? I recently got back connected to someone who was dear to me, and without them even realizing it, they inspired me, and they helped me to remember just how much I love to paint. And so that's what we're gonna do. And I'm just grateful. I feel like sometimes God, the universe, puts people in your life to remind you who you are. And it's amazing. So we're going to set our little painting up like this. And we're going to paint. So you can see. So yeah. So back to what I was talking about. I noticed something about my dreams. Like, when I was younger, I thought at least by 30, I would be married. I would own a home or be in the process of owning a home. I would have a good career or job or whatever that I enjoy. I would have like a group of female friends that I could go on girls' trips and do all the girly things, get our nails done, go out for drinks and whatever. You know, I thought I would have a kid, of course, but be in the process of, be pregnant again and about to give birth to another kid. So I had, of course, like when you're growing up, you have goals and dreams. Like, I want to be an astronaut. I want to, fly with the birds. And life sometimes doesn't work out that way. And that's okay. Like I said, here I am. I'm 30. I have one child. She is currently 1 year old. And she is the love of my life. Like, I don't know where I would be without that little girl. I feel like she has saved my life and she don't even know it. She is my reason to keep going. Because life isn't easy. Not saying that it should be, but should it be this hard? Should it be this hard? But in the same breath, I realized that I'm sure there is a lot of moms, single moms, who are in their 30s, younger or older, who have had to live with relatives or currently living with relatives, who may be unemployed, who may be struggling financially, whose credit might not be exactly where they want it to be to even get a place. They may have been evicted. They may have been through a domestic violence relationship or situationship. They may not be able to do certain things that they have always wanted to do yet. I wasn't seeing a lot of videos or people talking about these things. And I feel like I can talk about it not because I made it, but because I'm in it. I feel like there is light at the end of the tunnel. And as I'm searching for that light, I'm going to continue to be appreciative for the things that I do have, for being able to just wake up this morning, like I said, get myself together, get my baby together, make myself feel beautiful, and paint this painting, even though right now it looks crazy, but we're going to trust the process, like we're going to trust the process of our life as well. I would say over the last 4 weeks have definitely been interesting. And if you are spiritual and you're into astrology and all of that, well, it's currently July 28th. So that Mercury retrograde happened, I want to say July 29th. And I literally was unemployed on July 30th. And I want to say a week after that, I had a wellness check called on me from the job. And like a day after that, I was what's it called, denied for income-based living, an income-based apartment. So it was just like back to back to back, you know, which is fun. And then all in the same breath, the same week that I got denied for the income base, I reconnected with someone, like I said, that was dear to me. And that was great. Like, I was like, this is actually the breath of, what's it called? Breath of air that I needed. You know, the fresh breath of air that I needed because of all the other things that had been happening before then. I had a great time. And what happened after that? I still have a trip that was planned, but it was supposed to be like a celebration after I get my place or whatever. So since that hasn't happened, I'm going to cancel that trip based off of the circumstances. I'm supposed to be going with my child's father, but I don't think I want to reopen that door. I think I want to take care of myself. Just want to take care of myself and take care of my daughter. You know, and I'm not against anything changing, but at the same time, I feel like there's just been plenty of time. There's been plenty of time for people to figure out what they want to do, where they're going in life, and stuff like that. You know, and yes, like I said, I don't know exactly as far as like working, what I want to do, but I have an idea where I can still have my freedom and that the commute isn't gonna take too much time out of ladies be aware of your surroundings. Okay. But the commute's not gonna be too much wear and tear on my car, or I'll be too far from my daughter, or, you know, I want it to where I want to make my own schedule, be able to take her to daycare at the time she goes, that she's been going, and pick her up at the time I've been picking her up, and not have to like just bust my ass just to make $20. You know what I mean? No, I don't see myself doing that. So, not saying that I'm not gonna do anything, because I'm definitely gonna do something, but I'm not gonna sit up here and just bust my ass. I'm not doing that no more. Since 16, I've always had a job. Always. I've always been a hard worker because my mom is a hard worker. She is the hardest worker I have ever seen. And that trickled down to myself and my brother. My uncle is a hard worker. My dad's a hard worker when he wants to be. You know? And we just give it our all. We give it our all. Everything that I do. And I told this guy I was dating. Well, we wasn't even dating. But I told this guy that I was dealing with. I said, the way I work hard, because we had met at the job, yeah. I said, the way I work hard at these jobs is the same way I work hard in relationships, in friendships. I give it my all. I try not to cause problems and issues, but I will be a problem and I will be an issue if I have to be. I'm not perfect. I do definitely make mistakes, but I have grown. Look, we back in the car. Yes, I'm sorry. I did not get to finish my painting. We're going to another destination. Cause look, I told y'all, you pay attention to y'all surroundings, especially if you a woman and you be by yourself. So I was under the pavilion, and these people wanted to, I guess they're redoing the wood or whatever. And a guy comes over, he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, "How you doing?" He's like, "You painting?" I said, "Yeah, I'm painting." He's like, "We're just looking at the wood under the pavilion because they're gonna redo it." And I seen the truck that had the wood and stuff in it. He's like, I was like, "Do I need to move?" He was like, "No, you're good." I said, "Okay." So I thought it was just gonna be him and then the other guy. And then 10 more of the motherfuckers popped up. I said, "Hell no," to myself. You know, I didn't make a big deal. I quietly gathered my shit, walked to my car, and got the fuck up out of there. Excuse my French. But baby, I don't play them type of games. I watch too many movies, okay? I'm very protective over myself and over the people and shit that I love, okay? When my blood pressure start rising and I get to shaking a little bit, nah, it's time to bounce, bitch. I know when to pivot, okay? But we gonna continue my little paint and talk in just a second. I just had to let y'all go. We was at the park at first because I was like, let me just go to this park and here sit under the pavilion because it's hot. I'm not gonna lie. Where I'm from, where I'm at, it's hot as hell. And so I just wanted to be cool and not have to worry about nothing. But now we're at the actual lake, and I'll kind of show y'all if I can. We at the lake now, and this is my painting so far. So y'all see it? Y'all see it? Y'all catching the vibes? Okay, so we got to sit at this table, and we gonna finish what we started. Okay, got my little bag. I'm gonna sit down. Where's my water bottle? I hope I got everything, but if I didn't, oh well. Shoot. You finna catch me slipping. Alright? That's what I'm not finna do. We don't have time for that. Because I got certain time to be at places I do not need to be distracted or messed with. And I told y'all, sometimes I can be a little anti. But it was too many men, and I'm a woman. Okay? You see what's all over me? Yeah, baby, I don't play. We're trying to have a good day today, okay? But yeah. Umbrella. Okay, here we go. So, like I said, this is my painting so far. You can kind of see the chair, you can see the tree. And I don't know how long we're going to stay at this place, but, you know, let's continue on. So, like I said when I first started the video, like, I had been crying. And just really, I was crying because I was grieving the life that I thought that I would have by now. And I just want you guys to know, like, if you have been crying a lot, or releasing is what I like to say, we'll like to call it, releasing the things that disappointed you or hurt you or whatever, just releasing the fact that you thought things would be different than what they are currently. Just know it's a part of the healing process. I made plenty of videos that you guys can check out, that when I was just being open and vulnerable and letting you guys know certain things, maybe not the exact situation, but certain things that I had been dealing with, and how I was trying to navigate through those things and stuff. And it's hard, it's okay. It is. I feel like life is supposed to be lived, and even though you can watch a YouTube video, or you can talk to a friend or a therapist sometimes, but sometimes you don't know until you actually go through it. You don't know until you're actually in it. You don't know how to navigate the storm until the storm is right in front of you. And it's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't be hard on yourself because you didn't get it right, or you thought things could and would be different. You still have time. You know, if you woke up today, you have time to try to figure it out. And like, I know I said, like, as far as like my relationship goes or whatever, it's been plenty of time or whatever. I'm saying in a sense, like, if the plan was already mapped out and you talked in great detail, and you know, if the steps were followed, that brings ultimate success, and you know it will because you've done it before. You know, I just feel like you got to give yourself somewhat of a time limit when it comes to certain situations and things and people. Like just that situation right there. Just like when I chose to pivot from the park. You gotta know when it's time to go. And that resonates with every part of life. Again, a job, a relationship, a friendship, old ways, old habits, you know. Times are changing, people are changing, circumstances are changing. With that being said, the season you are currently in, you won't always be in that season, whether good or bad. And that's what I try to keep remembering myself. It's just time for a change, and that's okay. Whew. I do want to say something though that I think is very important, and it means a lot to me, and it was also inspired by someone who has inspired me. Your life is not behind schedule. It is under reconstruction. Construction sites tend to be noisy, messy, and they don't look impressive while all the work is happening. But that is not the final product. Does that make sense? So, with that being said, I think I'm gonna let this be a stopping point because I'm a little ready to go back home. I think I've gotten enough nature for the day. Okay, so again, this is my painting so far. I will definitely show you the final product at the end of this video. I'll show you a picture of it. I'm gonna leave you with this before you go. Life is going to keep going, and so are you. Okay, I'm back in the car once again. I'm headed home. And just remember, your life is not behind schedule. It's just under reconstruction. And I'll see you in the next chapter. Thank you so much for listening today, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.